Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. We are live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. It is a final today. The Premier League got underway with Liverpool staring a draw right in the face. 2-2, 81st minute. They come back, they cover the goal line, they win the game 4-2, and everybody loves the champs to do it again this year, including our next guest as the great Nigel Seeley joins the program. Because We Win podcast, betting weekly as well. Nigel, good to talk to you again, mate. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you two? Missed you both. And I haven't spoken to you since Pauly talked all that old rubbish about penalty shootouts and various different things. And he was going to, last I heard, he was going to send a private plane to pick me up and take me over to give you a penalty shoot. Never heard nothing. All mouth and no trousers, that Pauly Howard. Absolutely all mouth and no trousers.
Hey, Bill 80's aware. Derek Stevens wants to make it happen. We'll do it at the pool out here. I feel good. I think I'll put 7 past you on 10 attempts.
Well, I'm in fighting form, mate. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. We have to make this happen.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So this is great because you're coming on right out of the heels of Liverpool winning this match today, Nigel, to begin the season. How high are you on this club overall? And, what's the separation between, you think, this club and everybody else? And then who would you have number 2?
Well, to be honest with you, Mitch, before this match tonight, I had them a little bit higher than where I think of them now after the match. I think they were very fortunate to come through that match. They were -$3 favourites to get the win on the money line against the Bournemouth side, who have had virtually their whole defence taken away from them. Big clubs across Europe have bought their defenders, and they're a side in massive rebuild. I think that tonight was a get-out-of-jail card for Liverpool. Anyone who bet them at -$3 to win on the money line, they're going to look themselves in the mirror tonight and think, were they good or were they lucky? I think they're slightly lucky. The defensive frailties that Liverpool have shown tonight concern me before I saw what we saw tonight. They sold both of their fullbacks. Trent Arnold has gone to Real Madrid. Robertson is now not in the team. They brought 2 new players in key positions. Defensively, they look vulnerable. They conceded 2 goals against Crystal Palace at Wembley last week in the Community Shield, which is the pre-tournament, pre-competition before the Premier League starts, and now 2 goals at home against Bournemouth. We know they have a huge attacking threat. Salah, Gakpo, Etikeke, who's come in today, has been exceptional. You've got Wirtz, who's going to get better. You've got Isaac, the guy they're potentially going to buy from Liverpool. But defensively, they look a little bit in problems, and I think that tonight, I don't believe tonight. They started the night at a +180 chance to win the Premier League. I think by the end of the evening, they will probably be a little bit bigger than that, despite getting 3 points. Next best, Arsenal. They're always going to be the seconds. They're always going to be the bridesmaids, not the bride in the Premier League. But they bought in Gyökeres, spent a lot of money, £80 million on a striker. They needed a striker. They've got a striker now. My only worry about him is that he scored 39 goals last season over in Portugal in Sporting Lisbon. But 31 of those goals come against teams in the bottom half of the table. Never done it against the big sides. And he scored 19 penalties. 19 penalties. It's amazing. So it's a big investment. I think they'll improve, but will they improve in Liverpool? Chelsea are going to get better. Very young club. You know, the Club World Cup champions won the tournament over in America in the summer. They're going to get better and better. And obviously Manchester City, after last season's disappointment, will come strong as well. It's going to be a very, very exciting title race. I think Liverpool will score more goals than anybody as we saw tonight. But defensively tonight, I was concerned. I've bet them to win the title at +175. I'm a little bit worried tonight on that performance.
Okay.
They need to show up the defense and quick.
Very good. I was watching your podcast. You did an excellent job. How about the bottom? Who's going down? You think the Wolves could get off to a slow start? Who's going to get relegated?
Well, I think, traditionally in the Premier League, everybody looks at the teams that have gone automatically up and thinks they're going to go straight back down again. And we've got a team in Sunderland who've come in. They spent $300 million on players for a team that's gone up from the Championship into the Premier League. That is unheard of. That could be a huge risk. It could backfire on them. But some of the players they have Premier League experience, and I think they could be okay. In particularly at home, it's a very passionate crowd. Obviously, the American audience would have watched Sunderland on the Netflix documentary over the years. And, we've got the Wrexham documentary to come after in Birmingham. But Sunderland were the forefront of those kind of documentaries. I think they might surprise. I think they might be okay. Burnley, I think, will struggle. They're owned by the American football player, the ex-American football player, J.J. Watt. I think he owns Burnley Football Club.
Yep.
So they've got some money to spend, but I think they might struggle. We've seen them go up in the past and run it. But I think there's a couple of established Premier League sides that may have a problem this year. And one of them is Brentford. They, for years and years and years, they have had a manager in a guy called Thomas Frank, who's been exceptional. His blueprint of the way he likes to play football is across the whole team. He's worked wonders with some very average players, and he's taken them on to bigger and better things. He's left to become the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. All their main players have left. Norgard, their captain, has gone to Arsenal. Their two strikers, Mbuma and Wissa, who between them scored about 46 goals, I think, in the Premier League last season, about 40-odd goals in the Premier League last season. Both of them look like they're going, and Mbuma's gone to Manchester United and Wissa's in talks with Newcastle. That's a huge amount of top quality players without any replacement to take. And they are $3 to get relegated. I think they probably a bet. And the other side, I think, is Wolves. Going to come on for the reasons why I don't like them in one of my best bets of the weekend, but I think Wolves might struggle. They've sold Kuna, who scored, again, 20 goals from last season. Big goal outtake to take from the side. No real replacement in their area. Their best defender's gone to Manchester City as well. Manager come in last year when they were struggling at the bottom of the table, turned them in, survived it at the start of the season, and starting a new campaign. I think the honeymoon period is over, and I think if they get off to a slow start, which I expect them to do so, because some stats I'm going to tell you a little bit later, I think Wolves could be sucked into the relegation race at 3-1 as well.
Looking forward to that. It's our old friend Nigel Seeley at Seeley_Nigel on X. Because We Win Pod, Betting Weekly Studios as well. And he's on the progressive guest line. We're previewing the Premier League. Let's go to some props. Dominic Solanke, Tottenham, most goals, 33-1. Take it away.
Well, I think this is a very, very interesting bet. We see Mo Salah score tonight. We've got Haaland, obviously, at the top of the end of the market. We've got some players, got Carez, as I said, from Arsenal, going to come in there and make a stake for his claim. Dominic Solanke was a proven goal scorer for many years at Bournemouth. He went to Tottenham last season on a big money move. And usually when a player goes to a big club on a big money move, the first season, it takes them a little bit of time to adjust. I think they get overhyped. The expectation to deliver straight away is quite hard. And always I like to bet players on their second season. I think second seasons in Premier League are much more better than the first seasons. It's very rare that people come in on season number one. Haaland is one of the exceptions to the rule. Even Salah took some time to get going in the Premier League. Thierry Henry, who's considered the best striker in the Premier League, took a bit of time to get going. But I think Solanke now at Tottenham are going to be very exciting this year to watch. Thomas Frank, the former Brentford manager, is in charge. They're going to be very attack-minded. They're going to score lots of goals. And he's going to be on penalties because their captain, Son, has gone over to America. He's gone to play for the team over in, I think he's gone to LA, isn't he? I'm sure he's gone to LA. So he's gone over to the MLS stadium in LA. And then now Solanke's going to take penalties, which gives him a huge chance of scoring more goals. The manager, Thomas Frank, has worked with some really sort of bang average centre forwards, but he's turned them into world-class players. Ivan Toney, and Mbuma, Wissa, the guys at Brentford have all gone on to score lots and lots of goals, play international football and been sold for lots and lots of money. And he seems to get the best out of strikers. And I think Tottenham will have a big season this year. I think they'll be very entertaining, score lots of goals. And their main goal threat is Dominic Solanke. He was 2-1 to be the top Tottenham goal scorer, which is long gone. But at 33-1, and you can get the each ways, you get a quarter of the odds to finish in the first four. So 6.5-1 to finish in the first four. I would suggest 20-odd goals, 21 goals, 22 goals will get you that home.
Okay.
And I think he's going to score their goals. So Dominic Solanke, for me, at a big price.
I've known you 7 years. I've never seen a reaction like that when you were told the guy was 2-1 to lead the team in goals, which is down to plus 150 now.
The only ever reaction I had with that was when you said you would have scored 3.5 more penalties past me in a penalty shootout. You would have seen a bigger reaction than that than the 9-4.
You got it.
That was free money.
Can I hop in here for 1 second? Nigel, you would have no idea how many grown men with kids playing college soccer who are goalies have come out here and told me to my face they want to do it, and they laugh at the idea of Pauly and Matt getting multiple goals by him.
Honestly, it's the most ludicrous thing I've heard in 7 years of doing this show. And I've heard a lot of rubbish coming out of Pauly Howard's mouth. So, honestly, that is the best one. That's the best one yet, honestly. None of them will even hit the target.
Oh, my God. Now, that's just stupid. That is an asinine comment.
Matt Yeomans would not... He wouldn't be able to pass the burger stand, let alone hit the ball.
Too good.
Hey, you're going to hang out for another segment, yeah?
Damn right.
Yeah, 100%,
okay.
if that's what.
Do you want to do another future here? We only have like a minute in this segment, or do you want to do? You mentioned this a little bit earlier, but like Man City minus what on the agent handicap here?
We'll go on to the matches in the next segment. I'll give you another future. I think anyone who watched the Club World Cup in America would have seen the absolutely incredible performance from Cole Palmer, the Chelsea striker, who was sensational. I don't think there's a better player in the world at the moment in Cole Palmer. It's a massive year for England in the World Cup year coming to the States. Cole Palmer will be our main man for England's hopes of the World Cup. I think a lot of English players, a lot of players across the world looking to get into the World Cup want to have a big season, so it's going to be great for them stars. Cole Palmer for Chelsea, young Chelsea side, the Club World Cup champions. They're going to go into the Premier League. They're going to be very excited at the moment. And you can bet him I bet him to get the most assists in the Premier League. He was 7-1. I think that's a fantastic bet. A couple of years, loads of assists. Now he's full of fire. Most assists, Cole Palmer.
Very good. Yes. I mean, how good is that kid? Because Steve Wiss came on this week and said maybe you look at most goals.
That's right.
This year.
22-1, I believe. 20-1.
Yeah. More with Nigel Seeley coming up next, Because We Win podcast, betting weekly as well. We'll get his thoughts on matches in the Prem and League Two coming up.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We continue talking Prim with Nigel Seeley, Because We Win podcast, also betting weekly. He is on the Progressive guest line with us, and he went over a bunch of his futures for this year in the previous segment. If you missed it, you can always go back and listen to the Follow the Money podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. And you did briefly mention how you think it's probably going to be a long season for the Wolves. They get Man City, Nigel, out of the gates tomorrow. So what is your betting advice here? What is your betting approach for that match?
Yeah, I mean, before I go into the breakdown of that particular match, I think I should give you some stats on the opening day of the Premier League season, because I think it's quite relevant for people who are having the best opening day season. Mm-hmm. The opening day of the season in the English Premier League is a bit of an exception to the rule, and obviously the last game of the season, there's sort of games where things go out the window. We saw a crazy game just there. We saw at the end of the season lots of things happening. So I went back through the last 50 matches, first day of the season, and I looked at also, this is over a 5-year period, and I've included today's match as well. So over that 5-year period, it's been 51 days. Obviously, there's 51 matches. Obviously, there's been 10 matches per season at the opening day, and we've included tonight's match. 26 of the 51 matches have gone over 2.5, and 25 have gone under 2.5. But you're much more profitable over a 5-year period if you bet the under 2.5 goals than the over 2.5 goals, because obviously the over 2.5 goals is a shorter price favourite. The biggest shock in that 5-year period was Tottenham at 5-1. They beat Manchester City in the opening day of the season. So favourites usually do well. We just see a favourite winning Liverpool. So if you bet the favourite over the last 5 seasons in the Premier League to a 1-unit stake on the first day of the season, you would make 6.07 units of profit for a 1-unit stake. So betting favourites on first day of the season is profitable. If you bet every dog in that period of time, you would have lost 5.47 units over 51 matches over 5 years. And if you bet every match to be a draw over that period, well, you'll be losing 22.69 units. So draws do not happen in the Premier League. And over that period of time, there hasn't been one 0-0 draw. So we do get goals. It's hot in the UK at the moment, as it is in America. It's hot across the world. We live in a world where it's getting hotter. So the hotter conditions mean more goals. So we move on to the first match. As I said to you, I've got a negative for Wolves this season. I have a really big negative for Wolves in August. And I'll tell you why I've got a negative for Wolves in August. Since they've been promoted, now they got promoted in the Premier League in 2018-2019 season. They played 20 matches in the Premier League in that period of time. In August, in the month of August, they played 20 matches. They've won 1. They've won one match out of 20. That's a half a season that Wolves have won one match in 20. They're perennial slow starters. For some reason, Wolves don't get going until after Christmas. In the month of August, they're a massive favourite. One win in 20 matches since the year 2019. So in 6 years, they've just won one match. If you look at their record on the first day of the season, they've won one match in the opening day of the season. That was their one and only win. They're up against a Manchester City side that have won the opening match of the season 9 of the last 10 years. They're a side that have got a rebuilding going on. They're bringing in some really, really good players across Europe. They've got obviously losing quality players like Kevin De Bruyne. You've got Haaland, who has had a bad season last year, was on the bounce back, World Cup year again, wants to prove his worth. They brought in a great player in Rangers, midfield player. Mamouche is a goal-scoring threat as well. Man City have bought well in the summer, and they will be a major force again this year. Whether they win the Premier League title, I'm not quite sure, but they're rebuilding for next season. If you look at them, they've got a great record here against Wolves. You've got a player like Phil Foden who didn't do anything last year. And I've got a feeling here that Man City will actually do a good number on Wolves. Wolves have lost Kuna, 22 goals a season, gone from their squad. They've lost their best defender, Anui, who's gone to Manchester City. And I just got to think, I've got a real strong fancy here for Man City to cover the spread. They're -1.25 on the Asian handicap. So if they win that match, you're only going to lose half. If they win by one or more than one goal, you're going to collect. Just can't see Man City losing this game against Wolves. It's going to be an emotional day because Wolves, obviously, we saw the emotion tonight with Diego Jota, who tragically lost his life in that car crash. Wolves are going to be, he was a former player at Wolves, they've got a big TFO that's going to be around the ground as well. The emotion may take over here, but I think Manchester City's quality and the fact that they were massively disappointed last season, I think they bounced back. Strong side. Man City are going to have a good season. They get to winning ways against a Wolves side that you can never bet in August. So even money, Man City to cover the handicap is one of my best bets of the Premier League this weekend.
How about an under Sunday? Nottingham Forest, Brentford, under 2.5.
Yeah, I love this. I think these two sides are two sides that are going to go backwards in their season form last year. Nottingham Forest on the metrics overachieved massively. They are a side that lost one of their best attacking players in Elanga, who's gone to Newcastle. They're in the process of buying some players, but they haven't come through yet. I think it's going to be a backward season for both these clubs. Brentford, as I said, I think they're a real lively contender to get relegated. They've lost their manager. They've lost their two best goal scorers. They've lost their captain. I think this is a match ready to start the season that both managers here will be very, very happy for a point. The Brentford manager's a rookie. He's never been in charge of a Premier League side before. Keith Andrews is a very, very, very risque appointment. If you look at Nottingham Forest at the end of last season, the last 9 matches at the end of last season, 8 of them cashed under 2.5 goals. Both of these 2 matches last season when they played each other, both cashed under 2.5 goals. Nervy match, both sides knowing that they overperformed last year. They're both in for a very, very different struggle this season. I think both will be very, very happy for a draw. Under 2.5 goals here is my best bet in the Premier League this weekend. You can find it on VSiN on my preview as well. But if you read the stats, if you can't understand what I'm saying in the English language here, but it's -110 under 2.5 goals. I think that's a great bet.
He's our friend Nigel Seeley at Seeley_Nigel on X. Betting Weekly Studios on the Progressive Guest Line. League 2 now. League 2. How about Chesterfield to keep it going? Haven't conceded yet.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to you the other day, and I said I haven't really been massively involved in the lower league footballs over the last couple of years. It's been like all about the Premier League for me. But I do have a couple of teams I think will go well this year, and one of them is Chesterfield. I think Chesterfield have performed incredibly at the start of this year. They've looked really, really good in the way they played. They're up against the Bristol Rovers side, who haven't won a match, and I really liked this bet. On the build-up to the match. I mean, Bristol Rovers' metrics this season have been absolutely terrible. Their goal XG has been awful. Chesterfield are a side that have come up from non-league football last season, just missed out on promotion, but they're going to get better this year. And you can see already in the first 2 matches, they're going to be a real formidable side. The other thing that I know it's quite a sort of sensitive issue, but I think it's quite relevant. The owner of Chesterfield is a guy called Phil Kirk, and he's been struggling with cancer. And he's unfortunately gone into palliative care this week, and he's put a statement out that he said that obviously he's coming towards the end of his life and he wants the team to play for him this weekend. He wants them to get promotion for him. And I think that emotion And that extra incentive to Chesterfield makes them a little bit of a bet tonight. I mean, tomorrow, it's a sort of a heartfelt play of approaching gambling. But I think sometimes when these things happen, you got to take it into account. It can work as a negative or a positive. And I think that the whole team and the whole club, they're going to be they're going to pay tribute to tomorrow. You saw what happened to Liverpool tonight, the unfortunate loss of Diego Jota, and I've got a feeling that Chesterfield tomorrow will use that to their advantage. They're a much better team than Bristol Rovers. I think they're a side that are going up this year, and I think at minus 125 or minus 130. They're one of my best bets on the League Two slate this week against a very, very poor Bristol Rovers team.
All right, 90 seconds, my friend. One more, League Two. Also a team that's 2-0. Crewe to beat Crawley Town.
Yeah, again, I mean, Crawley Town have been a team that we've had some much love and much disaster with over the years. We bet them to win the league and they failed, and then when we bet them to finish bottom, they've gone up through the playoffs. So my record on Crawley Town isn't very good. So you bear that in mind when we're doing this show here. I mean, Crewe have just been brilliant this season. They've scored lots of goals. They're full of confidence. They're unbeaten this season. Again, up against the Crawley Town side, who I believe are in trouble. There's a few rumours circulating around Crawley that there's a few issues in terms of their recruitment. Crewe look really, really good. They're very, very good over the years at home, and their home ground is a bit of a fortress for them. I think tomorrow, I bet them at minus 110 to beat Crawley. I think that's one of the best bets of the coupon tomorrow if you want to bet on slate tomorrow. Crewe to beat Crawley. If you want to bet a little parlay, bet Crewe at about minus 120, minus 110 if you can find it, and also obviously bet Chesterfield as well. I think it's a nice parlay bet. That's an alternative away from the Premier League. But yeah, that's the weekend. It's very difficult first week of the season. Yes. You've got to be very, very careful. Things happen, things changes, but hopefully that steer you in the right direction.
Thank you, buddy. We look forward to talking to you every week. Thanks, buddy, whether you're just live or not.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, mate.
You're the best.
Have a good one.
Let me recap everything. Crewe, Chesterfield, Man City, Nottingham Forest, Brentford under, Brentford to be relegated, Dominic Solanke, most goals, Cole Palmer, most assists. He also thinks Everton can have a good year and finish top half as well. There it is. Incredible. VSiN exclusive betting splits cut through the noise, pulling real-time data straight from Circa and DraftKings. Track the percentage of bets and handle on every game across every major sport. You can make sharper, more informed bets. Start your edge today for $9.99. VSiN.com/subscribe.
Most people called what happened in Missouri today a huge upset. We will discuss next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Pauly, there was a massive upset today in the state of Missouri, and that is DraftKings and Circa. They were both approved to take bets in that state beginning in December. Not FanDuel. Circa got it over FanDuel. And to talk about it now, Ryan Butler has been all over this. You can follow him on X. He's at Butler Bets, and he covers it for covers.com, and he's on the Progressive Guest Line. Ryan, thanks for the time today. How are you?
Good. Happy to be here, especially on such a big day like today.
Well, so you're smiling, and we talked a little bit before the break here, and during the break, and you agreed with that, right? You're like, oh, my God, it was an absolutely massive upset. Can you explain to the audience why it was such a big upset today?
Yeah. So again, trying to explain this, there was a subset of licenses up for grabs from Missouri regulators today. And by law, those regulators had to consider things like marketing spend. How much revenue is this going to generate? How many customers are you going to get? And Derek Stevens, obviously of Circa, when he was testifying before the regulators earlier this week, he said straight up, we're not going to be able to compete in that respect if it comes just to dollars and cents. But what his argument is that Circa appeals to a different type of sports bettor. They welcome the sharp bettors. They welcome the winning bettors. Unlike most of these other big books, they're known for not limiting bettors. They're known for taking all action. They're known for their posted limits. And that argument worked successfully today. As we found out from regulators, they saw this potential to appeal to a different subset of bettors versus a FanDuel. And ultimately, Circa ends up with one of these really kind of coveted two licenses. Now, again, we'll talk about this too. It doesn't keep FanDuel out, but this gives it it's really just a big boost for Circa, and it's got to be a really great feeling there. Every day I wish I was at that sports book, and I think today maybe more so than ever.
Yeah. Do you think it's a one-off, or that pitch can continue to work?
Oh, absolutely. If this can work in Missouri, where FanDuel and DraftKings were very forward with their projections on revenue and everything with it, and Circa is saying something different. So this is another opportunity and a framework for it. So Circa has been very selective and very specific about which states it goes into, but this is a good opportunity. There's not much keeping Circa out. It's really more so where they want to get in. But even if this does come up, let's say in a state like Texas or California down the road, which don't have legal sports betting, this is something else that Circa can definitely fall back on and point out that their success and how they really are a different type of bookmaker.
Yeah. So Can you explain why FanDuel's not out of it?
Yeah, so very confusing, and I'm glad you asked that with it. There's been a lot of miscommunication on Twitter, shocker, what's going on with it. This was a certain category of license. The untethered license, which we call them, means you don't have to partner with one of the Missouri casinos or sports teams. A tethered license, which is a separate category, means you have to partner with one of those sports teams or casinos. Hours after that announcement, and actually just recently, FanDuel announced that they got a partnership with St. Louis's MLS team. So they're going to be in the state there. There was no doubt about it. They had spent $20+ million on the ballot measure to get this approved. They'd already announced in their financial reporting that they were going to spend tens of millions of dollars. They budgeted for this effort on there. So it's not going to keep them out. It's just, again, it's sort of a David versus Goliath. This Circa beating the FanDuel, which takes more bets than anybody else. Circa, which has a whole percentage closer to about 4%, and FanDuel is pushing 15%. The little guy won today, and that's always good. That's always good news there for the little guy.
Okay, so what are we talking about here? You thought, I'm guessing, before the decision was made today, it was a foregone conclusion. Like, how big of a favorite would you have made FanDuel over Circa?
Seeing some stuff online, it was almost 100 to 1.
Wow,
I mean, we're really talking that big a deal. Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous with it. When you look at they had 7 specific requirements. Now, it was still subjective. This is people choosing this. But of those requirements, some of them were literally how much money you're going to make, how many customers are you going to get, how much money are you going to spend marketing to get these customers in the state. And in those areas, FanDuel was the clear favorite. So big news. But again, what regulators saw was Derek's pitch there, that it's the idea is that we're going to expand our customer base to a different type of bettor that FanDuel and DraftKings might not just attract, but sometimes actively repel. The type of bettor that DraftKings and FanDuel do not want. Circa has come out and said, we will gladly take them.
Yeah, I don't want to completely overreact because I know what the answer to this is going to be, but do you think down the road that this could ever be like a wake-up call to like some big national books where they're like, maybe we should stop limiting everybody to 13 cents on a number and then moving on them like that, and maybe take a page out of Circa's model here where they will actually take a decent bet from somebody?
It doesn't hurt. I don't think this is going to change things overnight. Yeah. One little licensing, and it's largely symbolic. FanDuel still is getting into the state. I don't think this is going to change things too much. But again, it never hurts to have more competition. It never hurts to have more options. And yeah, as Circa continues to grow, as it continues to get its prominence, if it presents, this is for any business, if it presents a valuable asset, it presents something that people want to use, it presents something that differentiates itself from everybody else, it's going to continue to grow and be successful, which we've already seen in these few states with it. And so, yeah, again, is this going to change things overnight? No. But does this help maybe put things in a more friendly environment for the bettor? Absolutely. The more states a book like Circa is in, the better it is for bettors overall.
So overall, you would think that it was just like the message that Derek Stevens and his team came up with at Circa, and eventually that won over the people who were deciding on this in Missouri?
Definitely part of it. I mean, the message that his presentation, he only, as with everybody, they only got 30 minutes and all that. But there was more behind the scenes. They discussed it. And again, the regulators looked at that opportunity. And it really was a good job of presenting this option that we are going to attract a different type of bettor that FanDuel or DraftKings attract. And that's really what ultimately ended up being the winning pitch there, the winning overall presentation. There was financials and everything else that goes into it. And Derek talked about the community involvement that the Circa has had in Nevada, it has had in Illinois. It's talked about how it already has 80,000 plus customers who've signed up for the rewards program through Circa already before this. So talking about all these are the different factors with it. But if you really look, What was the differentiator? It's this opportunity to expand the potential statewide customer base.
Very good. Ryan, you were all over this today for Covers.com, and the audience should follow you on X as well, at Butler Bets, Covers.com. Thank you for the time. We appreciate that.
Yeah, happy to be on, guys.
There you go. Ryan Butler, and he was on the Progressive Guest Line.
Massive upset, he says.
Oh, huge, 100-1.
Yeah.
He said David versus Goliath, called it the little guy.
Yeah.
So all I can think about, though, is that so it's not going to take like a brick and mortar in Missouri. What if in my head I went back to the show Ozarks,
right,
and what Circa would actually look like with Marty Bird running things there.
Yeah, that's right. How good would that be? Oh, he said it there too, which I know California is a gong show, but oh my God, he said Texas. I mean, that's just.
Imagine putting this anywhere in Texas.
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
No, I mean, I don't even know.
How can that be? I can't get over that. I was just there.
Mm-hmm.
Drive-through
liquor stores
and gun stores. Everyone's got a gun in a pickup truck. All the oil money. It's ridiculous. You got to drive to Oklahoma to play video poker, and you can't bet a parlay.
Mm-hmm.
It's maddening. And as our friend Ozzy said, you go to those casinos in Oklahoma, 9 out of every 10 license plates are Texas.
And they're giving away just like billions of dollars to other states, including the main one would be Oklahoma, obviously. Not that far of a drive when you want to get up there.
Yeah, and then the Adelsons buy the Mavs, and they're not making any headway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't believe that.
Well, I love the pure speculation out of that, by the way, when there was a lifelong Mavericks season ticket holder who said they did this so they can get a casino here, and they want to legalize sports betting.
Yeah.
That's why they got rid of Luka Doncic. That was his whole brain, how it operated. I'm like, I'll buy into that for a little bit.
You got to change your ways, and you got to quit being stuck in your old way. I mean, it goes back. They're like anti-pot there too, and anti-gummies, all that stuff.
The whole thing.
THG, whatever it's called. But it's
THC, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's
not a big pothead, but yeah, I think that's the lingo.
I don't. It's nonsense. I mean,
all of it, Paul. We're living in 2025 here.
Yeah.
Maybe get with the times at some point. Maybe. I can't even imagine what sports betting would look like for these, for the tax revenue, for the people in the states who refuse to do it.
Well said. How are you anti-pot at this point? I mean, you are just a lunatic.
Well, look, again, I'm not even going to say it. Never mind. I'm not going to go out.
Anyways, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, but you got me going because he said that. It's just Billy, like Jordan Scott said when he was in here.
Right.
Billions just gone. See ya. We're going to Oklahoma. See ya out the door. And of course, there's traffic jams, and it's all backed up when everyone wants to go to Oklahoma too.
And by the way, so I think about that every single time I'm in California. And we go to California, I don't know, 3-4 times a year. It doesn't matter. Bay Area, LA, San Diego. Every time driving in one of those big cities, I'm like, how much money are they losing right now just by, the traffic there is always pure madness. I'm like, billboards right now with any of these books, people would, in that state alone, what is it, like 34, 35 million people alone in California?
That was the thing, though, too. Remember when we were owned by DraftKings and they spent all that money?
Yeah.
It's like they had to be knowing they were drawn dead. And we were better off going to the Rhino and taking half the gals home right there with that money. Yeah. I mean, it was just like, you got no shot here.
No, it was 80-20 the entire time against them.
Yes.
Yeah, lighting the money on fire was a better idea, probably. So, anyway, it's Follow the Money here on VSiN. It's a big Friday here, big weekend, by the way. So, we got a couple of games tonight in the preseason, loaded schedule tomorrow, and some huge games beginning tonight in Major League Baseball. We'll kick them around from a betting perspective next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We'll have props here tonight in Major League Baseball. Maybe go down the path of the WNBA as well. Thanks for listening today, by the way, on Sirius XM Channel 158. For those of you watching on YouTube TV, great to have you on board here. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard. I brought up earlier today in the show that I made a bet on Mackenzie Gore under the K-prop. No handicap here. I was looking at under tools on vsin.com. I look at the K projections from our buddies over at Ballpark Pal every single day, and they project him for 4.94 tonight. And there was some value on him going under 6.5 Ks. And at the time, I was just comparing like some more public books to sharper books. And public books were offering like even money on Mackenzie Gore to go under 6.5. So I bet it when other sharper books had like minus 120 to the under. It has since flipped because evidently Mackenzie Gore will not stop taking money to the over today. And now my even money bet looks like it's a bad bet and a bad number because you can find as high as plus 120 and under 6.5 right now. A lot of feedback today on X. This is from Pick 10. You can always tweet the show at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard. I remember this game. We were on the air in March when Mackenzie Gore struck out 13 Phillies. He says, bad play, Mitch. Phillies are a strikeout machine earlier this year. This is from Steven. FYI on Gore under. It came out after his last start when he was more like his all-star self. He was tipping pitches big time and corrected that, and he was more reliable. Tonight's going to tell how bad it was. Because remember, right after the all-star break, we were anti-Mackenzie Gore like every start. Yeah. He was a disaster. And he was still priced like he was the all-star from the first half of the season. He did correct it, and there's the correlation in his last start. But so nothing I can do at this point. Now what looked to be a good number now is a bad number, but the ballpark pal projection still has him for fewer than 5 Ks tonight, so I'm going to ride with it. Okay.
I got a couple. I got Mizorowski plus 115 to have 5+ strikeouts.
Do you want his K prop?
He's a dog. Do you have it? Okay.
I see it, yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
It's 3.5 over minus 160 the way it appears.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
We'll get to 4.
Okay. You got outs?
I can get outs.
Yeah, I don't know. Johnny Avello's must be putting down the cheesecake. They don't have a lot of the stuff up here.
Can you do it in Johnny's voice for us, please?
Hey, Mitch, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
Tell the story there about those 2 girls behind me.
The blueberry, yeah.
Got the great cheesecake there, Mitch. I love it.
I'm not seeing outs. Are they going to post outs for Miz, you think?
Well, I would hope so. They have earned runs allowed. Two
I got outs. I got outs.
2+ runs is plus 135.
Okay. I got 15.5 outs.
Really?
That can't be right.
No way.
That can't be right. That's what I'm seeing on one screen anyway. If he's 15.5, that's an auto play to the under.
Yeah, right.
He's not going more than 5 innings in this game.
No.
I'll try to confirm that, though. You know what they did, Paul? Here's what they did. They put him on the screen, and then they crossed it off. I think they probably made a mistake.
All right.
Thinking, we can't put that number up.
Strong on Sandy, under 17.5 outs tonight as well. ERA of 8 on the road, and Boston's been great at home, killing everyone. 14-2 run as well. I think they get to him, and all of a sudden the Marlins pitching staff has been batting practice. Some trends from Steve Makinen. Phillies on the road, 38-20-5 under run. Brewers, 43-24 in night games. Brewers, 29-10 run against the Reds. Padres, 27-11 under run against lefties. Baltimore in road games, 38-20-3 under run. Giants is a favorite, 52-30-2 under run. Kansas City is 18-3 last 21 against the White Sox.
All right, I can throw in some more K-props here. Starting pitchers against the Nats are on a 14-6-1 run to the over. Wheeler, 7.5 tonight. He was even money to go over that a little bit earlier. I'm looking right now at Ballpark Pal. Again, they have him going for 8.05. They think there's value in going over on his number in the game. 10-3 for opposing pitchers against the Mets. Luis Castillo tonight, 4.5 with the prop. Against the Tigers, it did not get there last night, but starting pitchers are on a 26-9 run over their K prop. Do you know much about this old kid who's going for your Twins today? It's 3.5 over his plus 105.
I do not. Somebody was at the... someone was throwing some prospect.
Not in that game, but maybe in a different one?
No, I don't know much about him.
Okay. A couple other ones here. Starting pitchers are 26-5-1 under against the Blue Jays when they play in Toronto. DeGrom, though, tonight, that's kind of baked in. It's 5.5 tonight for the K prop. Last check, the under was like minus 135 in the game. And Ballpark Pal says that's pretty much his number, 5.45 with the projection tonight. But this guy he's getting roughed up now for 3 straight starts for Texas. And in that same game, 10-2 under against Texas. Bassett 4.5. Sorry.
Yep. No, I don't trust the bullpen either. They continue to blow leads. Some movement in the WNBA market. Golden State opened 4. They're up to 7 against Chicago. Chicago has lost 12 of 13. Is Reese going to play ever again? I mean, the season's over in early September. Listen to these scores. 91-78, 86-49, 91-68, 95-57, 93-78, 103-86, 83-67, 86-65, 92-70. They lost by 9 to Connecticut. Connecticut won, took money, and covered on Wednesday.
Terrible.
Wow. And L.A. opened 2.5. They're up to 5.5 on the road against Dallas.
Well, what's the total in that game?
That's it. Is 178.5. Look at the scores, what L.A.'s been doing. And again, I'll go back to my gal, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. 16. $1.20, $1.10 in that range.
Yeah, she's taking money today.
Yeah. I thought I saw plus 120. I know the LASIK didn't exactly work out once you hit 40. But in any event, I think for her to get 16 points, she's been on fire here, what she's doing. And
my wife sent me something, by the way, on Instagram. I don't know how much I trust this for your eyes.
Yeah.
They're going to develop, it's in the works right now. There will be eye drops, I think, by sometime next year that will correct vision problems.
Get out.
Does that sound like something that you'd be interested in?
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd be the guinea pig for that?
Yeah, sign me up.
What could go wrong?
101, 101.86, 101.99, 108.106, 100.91, 102.91, 94.91, 105.97. This is the LA Sparks.
I know.
This is great.
But also 178 is getting up there to a number where
that's true. That's true. But certainly, these gals on Dallas, you got a pretty good game. You'll be able to get what you want against the Dallas gals too, so they don't play much defense as well. Then again, I scored 11 points on a WNBA player.
Well, you lost by 10, so.
Yeah, but who plays the 21? That doesn't make any sense.
I think that's commonplace, is it not?
Nah, come on.
When's the last time you were at Rucker Park?
Yeah, right.
Did you play there to 11, 15?
Funny. Mike Palm was watching the interview on the news afterwards. I thought he'd go to his post game. I didn't have a post game.
You're chucking from 28 feet out. We're yelling at you. Paul, what are you doing?
Take her down low. Sure, absolutely. Sure, the guy. Did you see Kevin West, our buddy? He did the local news that night. He's here.
That's right.
He's in Texas now. Any luck?
He was so cool on the news, Our local
he was
sports.
Great. Reminded me of Craig Kilborn when he was doing the sports highlights.
Did you ever see Along Came Pauly?
Who's in it?
That is
Matt Damon?
Ben Stiller. No, and that's Philip Seymour Hoffman. It should be called Along Came Pauly, because there's that you never seen it. The video where he is they're on the court. It's like outside. They're playing and he is just chucking from way downtown. I mean, it's awful form, and he is shattering the backboard with every shot.
Okay.
I mean, it's actually, that movie's pretty well done.
Well, I made some, though. You're leaving that out.
No, I understand that.
I knocked some down. Yeah, I can shoot. I can knock them down. It's been a long time, though.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
it's pretty thick in here right now.
Come on. I scored 11 points against a pro. I never played before. I was a hockey star. I knew I'd get you.
You know what?
I never had played a day of organized basketball. And I come out there and I'm guns ablaze.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get you, because I brought this up so many times on the air. You can't stop talking about this from 30 plus years ago. I've called you Al Bundy for like 5 years. I have to get you the Polk High shirt that he wore on Marry Your Children. And then once I do, you have to wear it on the air.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I got to get the hot goalies back in circulation. But just the point being, it's like, I remember our dear friend, may he rest in peace, Dave Koken. He's like, yeah, Pauly, I got to tell you, if you beat this gal, the WNBA should go out of business. I agree with him.
He was awesome.
I agree with him.
Koken.
I never played a day of organized basketball. I'm going to step on the floor. I mean, that's 11-7. I got the ball. I mean, you never know. It's anyone's game at that point. Then she ran me out.
Can I say that was back when nobody really took the league seriously still?
That is true. Yeah. That is fair.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, very good. Good. VSiN and Winter Circle Proxy giving away 2 grand prize packages for the Circa Million contest. Fully paid entry, full season proxy service from the team at Winter Circle Proxy. Tour the studios as well. We'll buy you lunch. wintercircleproxy.com/VSiN. Fill out the short form before August 17th, Sunday. Get on it. Play for $6 million in guaranteed prizes. wintercircleproxy.com/VSiN.
We'll get into strong NFL preseason trends coming up next. You can get them on vsin.com like this. A team is on a 10-1 overrun in the preseason. Find out which team it is next.